that works for every incident of stopping somebody smoking. There's no one technique that works for every incident of weight loss or in emotional. It's about being adaptable and flexible, which we mentioned yesterday, or being lazy, and that's the option I prefer, being lazy. But I lumped it all together in one 1-hour session, okay, so that you don't have to bother with all those questions, finding out the stuff. Yeah, you have the 16-point questionnaire, which I'll come to in a minute and recap on. But that's only so that you can call them by the name, make a reference to the date of birth, i.e. the bits that I just didn't do. That's the only, and it kills some time. But all of the main NLP techniques and visualizations or reframes, those seeing the television set, turning the image off, getting rid of the past. On the one hand, it's positive disassociation, because we're getting rid of a negative to make it positive. On the other hand, then when we do the mirror and we're walking into a bright, happy future, you could say that's positive anchoring to the future, or you could call it reframing, as they do in NLP, because we reframe the angle, the viewpoint, the way they're looking at things. But all of them are in this one session, so that you don't need to find out which is most relevant. If you're doing them all, the fact of the matter is, well, the right one's got to be in there somewhere. If you're doing them all and you throw in the phrases, and actually I've got, I've just realised that at some level, I don't recall saying amongst that, you'll taste, smell and see, feel and hear and everything. As 100% total reality. I don't think I actually said that. Even I forget things. So, you advertise for the client, they show up, get them for blah blah blah, right at the beginning. Following the thumb thing, we covered that yesterday. I use that in what they call in NLP to anchor them to an idea. The idea being that we tell them that when you move further in a minute, which they do to whatever extent, doesn't matter, just as long as they move further. And even if they don't move further, which I've never had happen yet, I must add, you just tell them, no, you have actually, because you were just over there, and you put their arm back quick before they notice. You say, well done, yeah, you've gone that bit further. It's called bullshit, it's called adaptability, it's called improvising, it's called saying whatever needs to be said to help that person. But at the moment they come to this realisation that they made that instant change within themselves, you've already said that, well, when you notice this, you'll notice that that is a sign and a signal that you can X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z substituted, obviously, for whatever the particular problem they had in the past was. So then they go, blimey, oh, I did go further. Oh, well, that means that I can move forward. So you now, if you like, psychologically reframe them, is what they would call it in NLP. You've reframed them by anchoring them to the thought and the action of what you've just done. You then do, well, I do, this is the order I do it in, you then do the guaranteed locked hands, but have them stand up in front of the chair, but in such a position that they can feel the legs at the back of it. So they know when you come to the bit later about going backwards, they can feel they're not. There's no fear then. I hope they lost them. Alright, yeah, good. Because they can feel it on the back of the legs, it's non-verbal. You do the locked hands guaranteed jobby, but you go straight into it. If you recall back, because yesterday I was explaining bits chunk by chunk, that I just went through start to finish. So we've gone from the thumb, we positively anchored it, but then brought him back, but got him to close his eyes. And then went into the locked hands, but with his eyes closed. And the reason for that is because of what we said yesterday about eye closure, essentially, is 99% of the way to achieving rapid eye movement. Whatever the fuck that means. Because rapid eye movement, allegedly, is the signal that you have somebody in hypnosis. That kind of contradicts everything we were on about yesterday, because hypnosis doesn't really exist as such. We won't get into that debate. The point is, it is allegedly proven that just getting somebody to close their eyes is sometimes enough to trigger off REM. So in the context of therapy, getting them to get their eyes closed again, well, it's a non-verbal suggestion that, you know, this is all about keeping your eyes closed. They've also got preconceived ideas, beliefs and expectancies. Remember, everything, all of this ties in with everything we covered yesterday. So you do the guaranteed version, and you physically touch them. You don't, you know, you make sure that they're away from them so that they can't open the bloody hands. And you've got a choice then. You can either, if you like, use it as a deepener, there and then by saying as you lower your hands down, drifting, sinking, going down deeper, deeper, deeper. Or, as I think I did the last time, you can go straight into the, if you like, next induction, because it's like induction after induction after induction. One way or the other, you're going to bore them to sleep, or you're going to get them to a point where they do let the mind wander free and think about something far more interesting to them, which the irony of it is, if they end up doing that, they'll still, without realising it, be paying attention. What did we say yesterday? The bouncer will be off duty from the nightclub. So, yeah, the way I did it before was then we go, in a few moments, you're just going to feel yourself being drawn backwards into your chair. Did use the fingertip, gentle drawing that we covered yesterday. The chair's there, but my hand comes in to make sure there's no funny wallop or you don't hurt yourself. Then the hands go down that little bit for the sinking, drifting, classing that as a deepener. Although borderline, they could class that in NLP under the term anchoring because you're saying it's a sign and a signal. It's up to you. It's just a different name for the same thing. Then immediately give them a job to do, to distract the conscious mind. The job which was, start counting backwards in your mind from 300 backwards, 299, 298. And you start off by counting a few of these numbers. Now if you noticed, I then paused for a bit, and then came out at about 270, which could be said to be implying that they've already got to 270. It does speed it up a bit, but then when you go 269, 268, 267, numbers starting to fade away, 267, 266, 265, 261, 260. And you miss a few numbers out, but you just carry on as though nothing's gone on. Quite often you think, that's not right. Which is an element of disorientation and confusion to help deepen the process. The next deepener, induction, you see, they give them all these fancy names in the books. Deepeners. Oh, that's a deepener, that's an induction. That's a suggestibility test. Well, as we showed yesterday, a suggestibility test can be an induction. An induction in itself can be a deepener, or a deepener can be used as an induction. So, just because the book says it can only be used in one manner, bollocks. You know all the building blocks now from yesterday, so just turn it round and use it the way you want to. So I like the mental image of the staircase, but I'll throw in a very important phrase quite regularly whenever you're going to get them to imagine something. And that is that you'll imagine it in a way that is safe, calm, secure and relaxing. Because otherwise, unbeknown to you, the person might have a fear of staircases. And you're just about to fuck up all the good work you've done for the past. So it's in a way that is safe, calm, relaxing, secure for you. The staircase, self-explanatory. Numbers backwards from 10 down to 1. Visualisation linked to it, or anchored to it, as they'd say in NLP. Of each number that we go backwards, you're going another step down the staircase, drifting down, sinking down. Notice the voice tones going down, numbers going down, words getting drawn out. As we covered yesterday. Till you get them to the bottom of the staircase. At this point, if they're not asleep, you've got to carry on. No, at this point, you're probably half asleep. Sat there doing it because you've been doing it all bloody day long. Stick a tape on instead. Let that do it. At the bottom, I get them to then imagine moving forward. But there's embedded commands here as well. I hope you notice the embedded commands between each bit, if you like, to link them together, to take the path along. But embedded commands, so as you see that image, well, it sounded like, as you see that image, now change from one of the staircases, that fades away and becomes broken down. It's harder to try and break it down to explain this than do it, because I'm just flipping normally. I spelt this crap all the time. As you see that image fade away right now, you notice it changes into a positive image of a bed in the background. I mean, I really overemphasised it there, the embedded command. Slightly more subtle than that, I think, is probably appropriate. But each linking bit's got an embedded command of leave it behind, it's the past, you can change, you have changed, you move forward. So you're getting past that doorman, the bouncer guy, to get it where you need it to be. Bed, going to sleep, well, it's a metaphor in itself, so it's got embedded commands in itself, the idea of going to sleep, but obviously in a bed that's safe, calm, relaxing and secure for you. Always using those kind of phrases. They then start to dream. What do you do when you go to bed? That's how I remembered all this, because they go down the stairs, find a bed, down there, and then you start dreaming. So your next logical step is now you start to dream all those lovely dreams, positive dreams, or whatever other verbal crap diarrhea you come out with at the time. Now I used a flip chart stand and a pen as the metaphor, just because it was positioned up here behind you and you would have been aware of that. What I normally use is the image of, now imagine in your mind's eye, that it's almost as if you're in a classroom, but this is a safe, secure, this is very important, this is a safe, secure place. Nothing bothers you, nothing worries you. Because otherwise the teacher might have been shagging them over the desk like, No, you can, all it takes is a fucking little link like that and so it's always in a calm, relaxed, safe, secure place. And I get them to see the name written on the board in chalk, and what I normally do, and I've just made up part of this today, I'll tell you which bit in a minute, what I normally do is have them see their first name, and then rub it away one letter at a time. And as they rub each letter away, so it serves as a sign and a signal to drift away. What I added today was because there was a particular small element of other things we talked about yesterday. And you can do it content free, they don't need to tell you. As I said, imagine that you can also see written under your name a word that to you represents whatever, that which you wish to change. And get them to, with a flip chart, I couldn't say rub out because it's got to be done with a pen on it, but with a blackboard you can literally wipe it away and it fades away. And notice how good it feels, is it? Gone completely. You've taken control of that. You've removed it from your life. So you've got metaphor in there, you've got embedded command, you've got future pacing. Yeah, we're definitely very close to the entire NLP course in session. Next important step, ego strengthening therapy. Make them feel good, because you've been boring them for a while now. So that's it. Oh, you're doing wonderful. You're using your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration effectively. And just so long as you keep your eyes tightly closed, this will be completely successful for you. And whatever other crap I came out with, it just flows out of me. You heard it, and it's all in the book, it's on the DVDs, I just kind of do it instinctively. Although I did once record it on DVD and then transcribe it, so it is word for word in the book, allegedly. Right, next step, necessary therapy. The beauty of the structure of this is that you never ever need to know what their problem is. You can do an entire complete mind therapy session content-free without the person ever telling you what their emotional issue is, or what their problem is, what their fear that they used to have was, or their habit or phobia, whatever it was that they came to you with that used to be a problem. They don't even need to tell you. All you need to know is they come in the office, they go out, and you can tell if they're, you know, just trying to be nice for the sake of it. If they go out and they're happy, there's some kind of change. You can almost, it's not something I can put in words, but you can feel a sense of emotion. You must have had it at some time with your clients. Look, you can feel there's something happened here. You just get a sense of it. That, unfortunately, I just can't. It's intuition. I don't know. That I can't put into words. But you don't need to know what it is that's their problem. As long as they focus on it at the start of the session, and you say, look, we're going to do this content free, I don't need to know, but I need you just to, initially, if we make reference to the problem that you used to have before you came here today, I need you to, in your mind, have a very definite image of what that is, because that's what we're going to do together today to make sure that you continue being the new person that you have become. Future pacing, disassociation, embedded command. So you don't even need to know what it is. And because it's got every element of NLP pretty much within it, well, I literally advertise it as treats most, no, this wording's careful for the legality side. Complete mind therapy treats most any problem for most any person within a single 60-minute session. It's the most any that's very important. It gives the psychological perception of everyone with everything, but it covers you legally in case they do need a backup session or something, then you can still charge them again and they can't sue you. Another useful statement for your advertising stuff as well is, you are paying for my time, the treatment comes free. But you put that in very, not mega small print, but small so it doesn't detract from the fact that they're buying the benefit of what you do and not your time. So it gives that impression, the sales impression, that's a totally different seminar. But at the bottom it says, you are paying for my time, the treatment comes free. Nobody in British law then can get a refund off you. Because they can't give you your time back. And the treatment, well, it doesn't matter whether it works or not, you gave it in free. Just a little note on the side. So the first thing I do is anchoring, as they call it in NLP, a good place, stroke time, stroke emotion, to finger and thumb. I actually say push two fingers together. But ironically, if I was looking close, I think you did do finger and thumb, didn't you? You did, right. It's bizarre, without saying anything, most people do it as finger and thumb. But if you say, you know, just push two fingers together, there's still but finger and thumb, because it's more comfortable than, you're not, you know, it's not really that convenient. So, you know, you don't need those words, but that way it looks like they're coming to their own conclusions on some things, which means you're apparently letting them take some control over this change process. So before we get them to do the pressing, we say, look, think of a time in the past when you felt really, you know, good, on top of the world. They will call this in NLP eliciting emotions. Needless to say that the television say getting rid of the past is eliciting a negative one, and getting the image of a good time in your life is eliciting a positive one. I know that seems so bloody obvious, but that takes at least 20 minutes for them to explain on an NLP course. Right. So bring the image, make it bigger, make it brighter, bring it in closer towards you, turn that volume up. Anything that's on the theme of amplifying the positive, making the positive bigger. So it's the image is bigger, closer to you, brighter, and then you can throw in at the end and do whatever else you feel is right to make this feel so good inside right now. Well, you saw what I did. And then you anchor it to the finger and thumb. You say, press your finger and thumb together as you see that image closer to you, getting brighter, getting bigger. Press your finger and thumb together, and as you do, right now, notice you press your finger and thumb together, you get 10 times more positive within you, 20 times, 30, it's getting so positive now, and just let it disappear for now, and let your finger and thumb go. And just know that at any time in the future you need that little extra boost, you can make your ring of confidence, like Colgate toothpaste does. The ring of confidence. We then go on to the rulers. Confidence, willpower, self-esteem, stroke self-image. All problems, 99.9% recurring. It's either a lack of confidence or a confidence-related thing. Willpower, self-esteem, stroke self-image. Or you could say borderline courage or pride, but when you break those emotions down even further, they end up falling into one of those three anyway. So if we cover all of them, then whichever one's the one most relevant to our client, we're guaranteed to have covered. Instead of wasting time with meta-model questions and things like that. So imagine the measuring stick in your mind's eye, 0 to 100. You're heating the mercury up inside that stick, so it's rising up. Getting more positive, because rising, getting up, uplifting, feeling good inside right now. And, well, not embedding, but anchoring that to the thought that this is a sign and a signal that you've now got all the confidence, willpower, self-esteem, stroke, self-image that you need. Cool. We then make sure they lock it in place, again in a way that's right for them, perhaps hammer it in place, glue it, super glue it, whatever. The nice little bullet point key phrase being, and now I just want you to lock, glue, weld, cement that in place permanently so it can never drop below that. So from this moment forward, you've got all the confidence within you that you need, all the willpower, all the self-esteem. And that's repetition again. But as we covered yesterday, repetition is, well, yeah, suggestion correctly expressed and repeated enough is as close as you're going to get to a thing called hypnosis. Right. TV set, get rid of the past. We then said, now because this was one of the issues involved, this is another little bit I've just added to there, but because this was one of the issues involved what could be classed as a phobic or panic issue. I didn't want the television set to be playing an image of how things were in the past, because then that's contradicting the idea that the moment they show up it's all over and done with. So that's why I added on the idea of the video. Thank you for reminding me. I just do these things and then they've gone out of my mind, because then it's that element of disassociation and being able to remove the tape to destroy it. That's where I would add in for fears, phobias, emotional type things. But for other stuff, generally speaking, and this is the way it says to do it in my book, I get them to see it on the TV screen. So rather than destroying the videotape, taking it out, pulling the tape out, burning it, smashing it up, or whatever they choose to do in a way that feels right for them, I get them to see that image of you. Oh dear, somebody's, you know, transmitting an old video of how you once were in the past, future pacing. And I get them to go towards it and go, oh no, you don't want to get that close. In fact, reach over and turn the volume down. Turn the brightness down, the contrast. So that fades away permanently and completely, which is a metaphor for And in fact, turn the television set off completely. So you get them to do that. Now unplug it from the wall. We no longer want it to have any power over you in any way, shape or form. Now destroy it. Take control. Seen embedded commands, metaphors, hopefully all making sense now. Good. From there, having destroyed the TV set, the next thing is to reframe it to a positive. So we walk forward and see the mirror. It's the magic mirror. It's the perfection mirror. See themselves exactly as they dream of being. And then they find out it's magical and climb through because you're guiding them along this visualisation. But then they're inside the mirror and they can feel dead proud looking out, knowing that they're safe and secure inside and that they've left all that behind. Which again is kind of embedded command metaphor for left it behind. And, well, you saw me, what I did. It then says here, direct suggestion, aversion. Sometimes, and generally speaking, only in the case of smoking, and generally only in the case of when I'm doing group sessions, so you've got a numbers game, and you really want as many people as possible. Because a one-to-one session, without doubt, it's a lot easier to get a long-term result for somebody rapidly than it is with a group full of people at once. The irony of that is, the paradox is that a group full of people, using the psychological sheep effect and all those things we spoke about yesterday, are easier to manipulate to make it look like you've helped them, and probably will have helped them, but it's just, how long does it last for? So in group sessions, I would then add in, especially if it's for smoking, direct suggestions, aversion ones. So we've now installed the new future, and I go, and that's just a sign and a signal to you that you no longer need, want, crave, or desire for cigarettes or tobacco in any way, shape or form. In fact, each and every time you see the government health warning on a packet of cigarettes, on a billboard or in a magazine, it now reads smoke, choke, death and disease. Each and every time you see the government health warning, it now reads smoke, choke, death and disease. Each and every time you see somebody with a cigarette in their hand, your subconscious will see a number 19 on its tip, reminding you of the 19 deadly poisons in cigarettes, the 19 good reasons to stop killing yourself slowly, the 19 good reasons why you did decide here today to stop killing yourself and the ones you love. And, you know, some scary shit like that. There's loads of suggestions in the book. Which interrelates to this note, pain and pleasure suggestions. Well, that's just switch we spoke about yesterday, changing the negative to positive, the positive to negative, rewiring the plug and all that. Well, that's essentially what you've done with your TV set and your mirror and what have you. Well, the combination of the whole fucking lot. I mean, if that don't do it, you're a bit fucked, really, frankly. Implant a major post-hypnotic. I didn't today because I'm not really that certain whether Pete packed any backup CDs relevant. But at that point, normally it would be, in a few months when I count from 1 to 10, I'll awaken you, but then here's the post-hypnotic. I'm going to give you an audio compact disc to take away with you. And you'll find that you've got an overwhelming desire within you to listen to this CD every other day for the next 28 days. So you're giving them a ritual to follow, which will reinforce, brainwash basically, them. It also gives you a get-out clause if they say it didn't work as well as they wanted it to, because I guarantee nobody ever listens to the CDs every other day for the next 28 days. Just a little point on the side. And then you awaken them, which is just kind of then a refresher in the first few numbers of what we've done. You know, we've left those things in the past sort of thing. Something you once thought could have been difficult to achieve has now proved itself so ridiculously easy. And you'll notice that I use a lot of the same fucking phrases again and again. Today I used them, yesterday I used them. Even when I do stage shows, if you see my video, you'll see I use the intelligence, imagination, concentration. You don't need shitloads of techniques. If you know the building blocks, which you most definitely do if you were paying attention yesterday, you can create your own, but more so, you'll find that you can use the same bloody technique for about 27 different things without the need for going and learning 27 different things on 27 different courses. 9 days. Right. So that's essentially the structure of a complete mind therapy session. You then give them the backup CD, so they've got that for the next 28 days. If you want to, and I only started doing this for my own amusement, because quite frankly, it bores me, this stuff now. It does in the sense of going through it and thinking, I am literally, if a trance exists, that's a different debate, I must be in a fucking trance, because I can't remember what I'm saying. It just... That's why I have to have this to remind me what I've just done, to be able to tell you, that's where an embedded command was, that's what that was. Because after a while you'll find that, because when you examine the building blocks, and you know, you'll come to know instinctively what order you can put them in and get away with. So you'll automatically start, oh, that's quite good, where did I come out with that embedded command from? And you start doing it. So that's the CMT session. The questionnaire is mentioned in the book, but we'll cover that briefly after the brew break, which is coming up in a minute. It's going to be 12:30 back in here prompt. We've got the lunch listy thingy-me-bobs. The room where the coffees are. Same as yesterday, if you could be so kind as to make a note of what you want your name, give them to reception before the end of this half-hour break, so that then we get lunch on time at 1:30. That'd be cool. And regards photos, if you want to grab hold of me, I'll probably be outside for the first 10 minutes going, have a cigarette. That would also be cool. But just before we break for the brew, any questions on complete mind therapy? Or did that make sense? I'll take it by that deafening reaction that it made sense. Cool. The only other thing that I've added in recently to amuse myself, really, is, you know, the testicle, spectacles, wallet and watch that we did yesterday at Tappy? Well, before I even start the session, I do that on them, 0 to 10. And I get them down, hoping, with my fingers crossed, that they don't go straight to a 0. Like some of our wonderful volunteers yesterday. I mean, I'm fucking hell. Okay. The next Jesus Christ working miracles like that, if it was consistent. But hopefully it comes down from maybe an 8 to a 4 or something, and I could go, that's brilliant. We've already eliminated half of the problem. You know, put the emphasis on half of it's gone already. Notice how much better you feel. But now we need to finish that process off. And then go into the complete mind therapy to kill the hour. And at the end of the hour, you've already given them the ring of confidence to take away that they can use, the anchor, they can fire off, trigger off. You give them the CD to take away, to listen to reinforce it, brainwashing process. But you can also remind them, give them a little printed A4 sheet if you want, telling them where to tap 10 times. Here, 10 times there, 10 times there. Oh, happy birthday. In case they should at any time in the future encounter any other stressful situations in their life. Not if this problem reoccurs, they should encounter any other, which in itself is an embedded command that they won't need to. But if they do, they fell for the bollocks once, so... And on that note, we'll have a break and we'll see you back in here for 12:30. Thank you.